Hello, my name is Dr. Michelle Maidenberg. I thought it would be a good opportunity to sum up the week and then also to give you a guided meditation where you could really, kind of ground yourself, get into your body, and do an assessment of how you're feeling. So, a lot of people had a lot of feelings this week for very, very valid reasons, and I'm really here to validate your feelings. For one, the regulations for sheltering in changed, and it was again prolonged until May 15th, and that really upset many people, especially those who are having a challenging time being indoors, wanting to get back to their daily routines. So the other thing that I've noticed, and also that people have expressed concern over, is I think a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to say, we were in a position where we really felt unity, and that everybody was on the same page and working towards the same goals. And I think in the past week or two, there's been a lot of divide, and you really feel the tension. So I wanted to explain a little bit why that's happening, unfortunately, and then give some, I guess, some perspective on it. So I think, right now, because of, confirmation bias, which tends to seep in, especially at a challenging time like this, and I'll explain what that is. People want to get grounded. They want to feel in control because of the uncertainty. And what ends up happening is we depend on information in order to get our questions answered. And we tend to fit that information based on our perceptions, our preconceived notions, or in the way that we, prefer to see them. So, no matter what we're hearing, we kind of latch onto whatever fits into those set of perceptions. And where that leads, unfortunately, sometimes, a result of that is, again, the desire for your mind to get settled and want these answers, these concrete answers, like when is this going to end and how is it going to get resolved? Another question that came up is there going to be an influx of this again, in the fall when flu season hits? And that's another concern that a lot of people have. So because our mind wants those answers in order to gain safety and groundedness, what ends up happening is we often will look towards, all different kinds of answers. And unfortunately, often that results in a lot of blaming. So the tension that we're feeling is very real, and I think it's evoking a lot of very strong feelings, which you see across the media and elsewhere. And, an example of that is where they're loosening up, certain regulations in certain states, and many different people are having a different, I'm going to say, response to it. We're seeing protests and other things, which, can be quite jarring, especially with that lack of unity that I talked about. So, further ado, we're going to do a grounded exercise. And if you have, I'm going to be using actually kinetic sand, and I'll show you what that looks like. So kinetic sand looks like that. And it's the type of sand actually that doesn't fall apart. It's kind of cool. So, when you have it in your hand, it just stays in one piece and it's not like your typical sand. So you could use kinetic sand, and I'm sure that will be hard to come by at this point, but you could use even like a bowl of rice. You could use marbles. You could use even coins, whatever you have handy. It doesn't really matter as long as you're able to kind of hold something in your hand. And you could use slime. I'm going to use my daughter's phrases, but something that's satisfying, that feels really nice to the touch as you're kind of seeping your hands in it. So if you could get whatever you have, like I said, and put it in your hands. And once you're able to put it in your hands and, like I said, play with it or hold it, you could kind of get a straight posture and close your eyes. And what I'd like for you to do is to really feel whatever substance that is in your hands against your fingers, and feel the calmness. And again, that satisfying feeling of it sifting through your hands. And taking on that pleasure, that satisfaction. So within a challenging situation, we always have to find moments of joy, moments of control, moments of groundedness. And even if it's just a moment that you have now where you're able to feel something satisfying and be grounded, take that opportunity. You deserve it. You deserve to be relaxed. And hone in if there's any part of your body that you're noticing is feeling, somewhat tense. I want you to think about wherever that part is. And when you're sifting that substance in your hands as if you're kneading it, I want you to try and imagine kneading it, right? And as you're kneading it, it could change forms. And imagine that formation or that substance being whatever you want it to be, whatever makes you feel calm and relaxed. It could be holding a handful of cotton balls, which would be fluffy and soft. It could be holding a loved one's hand. It could be petting a beloved pet. And just imagine that. And imagine yourself just surrounded by beauty. The springtime, beautiful, blooming flowers, the sun beaming down on you. The smell of fresh air, hearing the sounds of nature. All the while holding that special thing in your hand and really feeling it touching you across your hand and taking on the warmth and the comfort. And take whatever you need to this weekend. Take it along with you. Let it be a reminder to check in with your body. Let it be a reminder to check in how you're feeling. And if you need to recalibrate or reposition, whatever it is, take that time for yourself. And take one last moment to feel the substance in your hand glistening, and really enjoying the pressure. And when I count to 3, when you're ready, you could open your eyes. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much for joining me, and wishing you and your family a good weekend and safety and health. Thank you.